Hey guys, it's your boy Sushi here with another Etheria restart video. So before we get into the video, I just want to say guys, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We have about 2 weeks left. So I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed. I'm also giving away 2 monthly passes at the end of this month, one for Christmas, one for the new year. But if we can hit that 1,000 subscriber goal, um, by the end of the year, I will double that and we'll give away 4 monthly passes for any gacha game that you want. Okay, all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and you'll be automatically entered, and we will be pulling the winners live on stream. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So this is going to be the EP4, I think, EP4 of the RTA for this season SS2. So let's just get straight into it. So we're gonna go back a little bit because I've had other videos to make, so I'm a little behind on my own games, as you guys have probably seen, like the video with Rob and Hellkid and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go back pretty far actually. So the last game I think I showed in the previous video was against Excalibur, right? So let's take a look at this game against Sabito. So pretty much the usual here, right? Plume, Mio, Freya lock, and then Heinrich for more damage. Because I think I have him on Revelation already at this point, and then Nahor. I'm still learning how to use Nahor and stuff, and he just has a standard pick here, Ray Mary, Lowen, and then locking Lily. And then what's her name again? Ling, and then Ninfo, right? So the biggest threat here is definitely Ninfo, because if Ling doesn't get a turn, I can CC them. It doesn't matter anyway. So let's take a look. Let me turn up the volume for this. Should be good now. Yeah, so I usually always S2 first with Freya here. I decided to push them back so that my Nahor can freeze, because Nahor is more reliable as a CC'er than Mio is, right? And I also did not want the Ling to cut. She almost cut there because she's on Reaper. And then pretty much the rest, I just have to manage my CC well, kill Ray Mary, and then I pretty much win. So I decided to keep pushing them back because they're all frozen already, right? You don't want them to take a turn at all when they're already frozen. And they can't get turn meter pushed or anything when they're frozen either, which is why Nahor is crazy. As you can see, Ling didn't get pushed up there at all because Nahor froze her. Even though she resisted something with Reaper, she did not get pushed up. Because Nahor is so good, guys. I can't believe I've been missing Nahor for this long. But yeah, let's keep going. That was a pretty GG right there. I hate having to scroll all the way down like this because sometimes it refreshes. But I think that game was against Sabito. Yo, this day was terrible, guys. Look at this. So that day I won one against Sabito, and then I win another one. But look at this 8-loss streak here. That was such a terrible day. But anyway, let's keep going. So next really good game is this person. I don't know what language that is. I can't read that. But like I said, guys, the same standard picks, okay? It's always, for me, I'm banning Doki now, and I think I've had a lot of success banning Doki. Plume, Mio, Freya, Nahor, and then I decided to pick Lowen at the end here. So the new trick with Lowen, right, and I really enjoy using her, is that she locks down any turn 2 character. You got a Tiamat, she's cooked. You got Rahu, cooked. Holden, cooked. All that stuff. So what I've been doing is I've been picking Lowen, and I've been banning one of their 2 bruiser characters, So in this case, Ray Mary is a much bigger threat than Tiamat is. So I banned the Ray Mary, and Tiamat is actually pretty killable if she's CC'd, right? She doesn't really get a turn at all because she's very slow, unless she has Amber and stuff like that. But you have Wound and stuff like that, no problem. So I have a Wounder here, and I pick Lowen here to force him to he either has to ban Mio or Lowen, because Mio can wound, right? But he's more scared of Lowen because he has 2 bruisers, and I pretty much just ban one of them, so only has one. And you'll see Tiamat can't heal. She can't really do much at all as long as I manage my CC properly. So let's see. So I go first, of course. So the pushback, right? I think a lot of people are learning about the Plume Freya tech because Freya pushes back so much. She heals here with the Sanya, which is fine, not a problem at all. I decide to refreeze everybody as well as apply another layer of defense down on them. Then I start pushing them back. Right now, they don't get a turn at all. Just keep pushing them back. I think I S3 with Neo here just to further push them back, right? Yeah, just keep pushing them back. They don't get a turn at all. Tiamat gets into Amber without any heal because she has wound, and then he gives up, right? Very easy, very GG there. Honestly, this season's been really tough. As you guys can see, these losses were terrible, right? So the problem with these losses were I was not playing that well that day, but I was also trying to incorporate like new characters, and I was trying to force Messiah a little bit, as you guys can see from my picks. Trying to force Messiah a little bit. But yeah, we won't go over those losses. We already went over them on stream. But the next video or the next replay I would like to talk about is this one against Gus. So same thing, okay, guys? This has been the staple for me right now. Plume, Mio, Freya. This guy, I don't know why he picked Mass. I think he timed out and he picked Mass or something like that. But no problem there, right? So he ends up locking Suki, right? Because I think he accidentally picked Messiah here because he timed out. So he wanted Suki because if he gets one turn with Messiah, I just lose, you know? But that wasn't really too scary because I have Freya locked. So I know for a fact that at the very least, I will be going first, and hopefully my other characters are fast enough to push up. And they don't have like, this team doesn't have any pushers or like any CC or anything like that. So chances are I'll be faster because Freya will push them up, and there's no Plume on this team, so they can't cut and do any bullshit like that. So let's see. This is a really nice Mickey Mouse, shiny Mickey Mouse. That's the first one I've seen on stream. Is really cool. So Plume goes first, right? And I have Freya, so they get pushed back. Except for the Reaper steps here. She got pushed up. And she also got pushed up again, but look, she doesn't cut Nahor because of Freya pushing up. And I also have my account speed tuned already at this point, so all the characters are like 1 or 2 speed max away from each other, so it's much harder for them to cut when you have it speed tuned properly like that. That's really the only thing you need to do for a CC account. You want to have speed, obviously, but you also want them to be speed tuned and as tightly speed tuned as possible, so like those skips and stuff like that don't ruin your entire game, right? Those cuts. Okay, that was a game against Gus. Okay, now we're gonna have some more games here. So that day was pretty bad, right? 3 days ago was pretty bad. But then the next day was pretty good. I had 4 wins in a row, and I think that was it for that night that I played. So we'll watch these 4. So this game against Diddy, Ayo. So same exact thing, okay, guys? Same start. So let's walk through this one a little bit, actually, and see why I decided to pick these, but it's more or less the same. You guys can see I have a very consistent draft at this point. So he picks Raymary first, of course, doesn't matter. I always pick Plume and then Mio because this one is on Amber, of course. So he goes Lilium to counter my Mio if I want to go CC, right? And then Lily on lock. I don't know why he locked Lily. Maybe he doesn't have Freya, but I definitely locked Freya here and then Heinrich. So Heinrich and Mio, that's a combo, right? They both wound. So if he bans one of them, it doesn't really matter. I can still apply my wound. And then he picks Santic and Bayo. So I'm thinking here, if he can revive them, whatever. But the biggest problem is definitely Santic. Because Santic, if Santic cleanses and gives them that crit buff and stuff like that, and then he also resets my team, because my team doesn't have Bulwark, right? I don't have that speed to play Bulwark. I'm trying to, obviously. But I don't have that kind of speed. With Bulwark, so Santic has to be banned here because he will reset all the cooldowns if he's even slightly fast, right? And I picked Nahor for the last one because I'm hoping that I can get defense down on Lilium and then kill her before she can kill my team, right? Because if he bans Plume, I don't have a defense down. Nahor adds defense down to Lilium, and then I decide to ban Santic, and I just have to deal with these two some way, and I have to deal with Bayo and not let her revive anybody and then one-shot my whole team. So let's watch. Okay, so I go first, of course, and I managed to cut the Lily because of Freya S2, freeze and defense down the entire team, Heinrich on Revelation because I need more damage when I'm going all CC. But look, you guys can very clearly see that Lilium ain't doing much, right? Lilium ain't doing much because she's slow. I think this Jackal kills her here. Yes, a crit on the Jackal, 9.5k damage, very nice. And then all I have to really do is focus on the Raymary. I push them back even further here. Raymary's dead, and he gives up, right? So that's why Mio is really good with Nahor, right? Because Nahor will freeze them, and Mio will push them back even further so they don't get their turn at all. So that was a very good showcase there. As long as you can deal with Lilium with your Jackals or with your Revelation, you don't really need to ban Lilium unless they're on like Mickey Mouse or something. But if they're running like a White Fang or if they're running Tiger Yin or anything like that, chances are they're pretty slow. And if you lap them enough and cycle through your team fast enough, you should be able to kill her with like one Jackal, maybe two Jackals, or like one Revelation, you know? So she's not too big of a threat, even if you can't CC her. But you do need characters like Freya and Mio and Plume and stuff like that, so you can cycle your turn much faster, so you can deal with her before she even takes a single turn. Okay. So this one was interesting. So this one I got the first pick. So I picked Plume, of course. So he decides to pick Ray Mary and Aya. Okay. So once I saw this Aya, I was like, okay, what do I have in my account that counters Reaper Aya? And that is Nahor. So this is why I pivoted. Instead of locking Freya, I had to pick Freya for second pick, and then locking Nahor because Nahor is my Reaper killer pretty much. Like he deals with Reaper very well, as you guys know. Sometimes you lose the freeze, but it doesn't matter. Most of the time he will freeze anyway. So that's why I decided to lock him right there. Then he goes, yeah, then it's his turn. He goes Ling, he locks Ling and then picks Tiamat on 4. So what do? The Ling, I don't know why he locked Ling here. Not really a big deal to lock Ling. So I pick Mio and Heinrich for double wound. Right now I have 2 wounders. If he bans one of them, which he did, he bans Mio. I still have another wound to deal with all of them, pretty much all of them. If I can get wound on them, especially on the 2 bruiser characters, they're not doing anything. I kill them, I win pretty much. And then he picks Sylph as the last pick. And looking at this team, because I have Nahor locked, Aya isn't too much of a threat here because my account is speed tuned. And even if Aya cuts or whatever, it doesn't really matter because she might not even be able to cut because I have Freya here. So he decides to ban Mio and I decide to ban Sylph because I think she was on Alicorn. And you guys know Sylph is so annoying. She's almost as bad as Doki. Doki's way worse, obviously. But Sylph also, if she gets a turn and you don't have enough CC for turn 2 or turn 3, then Sylph just cleanses, heals everything, and then you pretty much just slowly die. So let's watch this. So I had to ban Sylph there. Okay, so Freya goes first, push up. Plume S3, I think, pushes Aya back a little bit. Just a little bit. But look, Aya cannot cut here. And now they get frozen. Boom. Aya cannot cut. Doesn't matter. Heinrich with the revelation damage right here. Very nice. Big damage. I'm really glad I changed Heinrich to revelation. I also really wanted to use the revelation shiny that I have. So as you guys can see there, he cleansed the Ray Mary's freeze and then pulled her up. But the other 2 characters were not able to get pushed up because they were frozen. That's why frozen is so good. And then pretty much I win at this point. It doesn't really matter too much what Aya does. Only that very first turn is Aya a threat. At least until you kill somebody and she refreshes her S3. But that first turn, if they're frozen, if everybody else is frozen, it doesn't really matter because Aya won't push them up at all anyway. Tiamat dies, I focus on the Ray Mary, and that's GG's. He just gives up right there. Very nice. We have like, I think 2 more for this video, right? That was against Shadow, yes. So 2 more with Ren here. So this is an interesting pick. So I started building Mia. And I started using her. And she, for the games that I've used her, she's been doing very well. She doesn't really do any damage, but for cycling and pushing back, she has been very good. So this is an interesting draft here. This is when I start pivoting and using Lowen because she is absolutely amazing. I'm going to make like a showcase video of her probably for the next video because she has been insane for me. So I get the first pick here. Very nice. I pick Plume, okay? And guess what? I notice that he pre-bans Mio. If he pre-bans Mio, what does that mean? That means that I'm going to miss out on her pushback with the S3. But the more important thing that Mio does in this current meta is the wound, right? Her S2 freeze and wound. So what do? I counterpick by picking Lowen. Actually, no, wait. So he picks Ray Mary and Freya first, okay? So I'm thinking, okay, I have to deal with the Ray Mary, right? I already lost one of my wound options, being Mio from the pre-ban. So I pick Lowen. Okay, I really like Lowen as a second pick against turn 2. So I pick Lowen and then I lock Lily. I lock Lily because this is a speed contest because he picked Freya, right? He steals my Freya, or maybe he does pick Freya. But anyway, it had to be a speed contest. So I lock Lily, who is my current fastest character. But I'm still a freaking turtle. But anyway, so then he decides to pick Messiah, right? So what is his plan here? His plan is if Messiah gets a turn, my whole team pretty much dies, right? So he locks Messiah there, which is fine. Not a big deal. Then he picks Santic. So that's actually pretty smart, right? So he picks Santic in case I pivot to CC, because then he can cleanse his entire team, reset the cooldowns and stuff like that. He can cut as well. Um, and then I decide, fuck it, I'm just gonna go straight CC. But I'm also going to pick Mia because Mia can push back. Okay, Mia can push back. She doesn't trigger Reaper or anything like that, which is why I decided to pick Mia here. I also decided to pick Mia instead of Heinrich because Heinrich's also a stripper, right? You guys want two strippers. So Mia's a stripper here because I saw that he had Santic in case Santic is on Reaper Steps or Alicorn's Drive and stuff like that. I want to push the Santic back so that Santic doesn't get a turn at all, because if Santic gets a turn, he could CD cooldown increase my entire team, and I don't get to do my CC skills, and then I just lose. Okay, and then he last picks Suki, right? Because if Messiah gets a turn, he wins. So the gamble here was I have to ban Freya because if Suki gets a turn or Sansa gets a turn, that's pretty much GG's for me. So I'm hoping that his Suki isn't super duper fast, which it probably isn't because he picked her last. Usually players with super duper fast Sukis, they lock her or they pick her first or something like that. So I was pretty confident that my Lily would win this speed contest if I banned the Freya, which I did. So let's see. And you guys can see how good Lowen is. I've been really, really enjoying Lowen, using her in my games. Okay, so I decided to push Lowen up here. I lock down the Ray Mary. Mia pushes back. Look at that pushback from Mia, bro. No Freya needed. Massive pushback. Everybody frozen, and that's pretty much GG. So luckily here, his Santic wasn't on Alicorn. It was on Jackal. So that was pretty good for me. Another pushback from Mia. Very nice. Another freeze, and then bro just gives up because that is GG's already. All right, one last replay for this video. These replays you guys see from yesterday and the day before will be in the next video. So the last game I want to talk about is this game against NX Papillon. So pretty standard game here. So I went first, of course. Always Plume first as a CC player. You need that premium strip because if they have Bulwark, you're cooked and you don't have a strip. So Plume. And he bans Ray Mary. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. He bans Ray Mary, right? Because I go first. Usually, actually, yeah, I think people ban Ray Mary when they're not first still. Because they used to do that, and I think they're still doing that right now. But anyway, I see he picks Lowen and Fuchu. What does that mean? That tells me that bro is going to play turn 2 and he's going to be slow. Right? He's definitely going to be slow. So I know for a fact that I do not need to lock Freya here, because he is going to play very slow. So I don't need to lock her. I don't need to protect her and take the initiative to go first, because I will go first anyway. I'll have the initiative automatically. So that's why I decided to pick Freya on 2 here. And then I locked Mio instead. Why? Because I want to lock a CC and a wound because I know he's slow. And the fact that he picked Lowen first means that he might play other bruisers, which he does, because he decides to pick Tiamat, locking Tiamat, and then Sylph. Okay, honestly, might have been better for him to lock Sylph. I'm not gonna lie, that might have been better. But so I'm thinking, okay, Sylph, no problem. At this point, I'm thinking I'm going to ban Sylph. It doesn't matter what his last pick is. I'm going to ban Sylph, and I'm just going to play my game, which is another stripper because Plume was banned, right? So I have a stripper on Heinrich, and then Nahor for that defense down, right? One of the biggest things with CC is that if you're running full CC, you don't have damage. So you need to figure out how can I get more damage in there and just kill them before they come out of my CC, right? So Nahor for defense down because Plume gives defense down, but she got banned. And also, like I said, I have Heinrich on Revelation for that extra bit of damage as well. And then Freya gives attack buff and stuff like that. And then for some reason he last picks Masai here. I don't know why he picked this. Maybe he ran out of time. Maybe he panicked. I don't know. But Messiah doesn't really do anything here because he's slow as fuck. Even if he's on Bulwark, I have a stripper. I have two strippers actually. Nahor can strip one character. And yeah, let's watch this game. So Freya goes first. Mio gets to cut here. So because Mia cut from the Freya S2, I decided to S3 with Mio instead, and then deal with Fuchu. Let Fuchu put up her buff. It didn't really matter because I have Heinrich with buff block, right? But Messiah's dead. She puts up her S3. It doesn't matter. They have buff block on, and then Mio, I think I S2 here. Now I apply the wound, so they had buff block up, and then they also have wound as soon as Fuchu went. Now I just push them back non-stop, and then I cycle a bunch of time. I focus on low in here because Tiamat damage shares. Tiamat goes into Amber, and then they die. Pretty solid game here. I've been really enjoying my new account with the addition of Nahor, Lowen, and Mia. Especially Lowen and Nahor. I've been using them so much. They're so fucking good. And this guy didn't leave yet. I think he leaves. He dies and then he leaves. Pretty much. So he stayed there till the end, so I respect that. Very good game against Papillon there. I think that's it for this video. Let me double check. We'll put these in the next video. These games are insane for the next video, actually. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. So if you guys liked the video, you found it helpful, you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. All the stuff about the 1K subs and the monthly pass giveaways and stuff like that for end of year, you guys already know. And that's pretty much it for this video. I stream every single night, both on Twitch and on YouTube, guys. If I don't catch you on the stream, I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay? Bye.